down the ladder now. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The 11 footpads are only
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, the two iconic NASA astronauts who were the first humans to set foot on the moon, are well known to all of us. But what about Michael Collins, the guy who orbited the moon all by himself while waiting for the other astronauts to return and making sure that the Apollo 11 mission was a success? This is his tale, which is about finding peace, becoming aware of our impact on the environment, and coming to a profound understanding of our position in the cosmos. The rock-solid foundation of any mission, the shadowy taskmaster. Collins was given responsibility for one of the most important aspects of the operation. He was in charge of piloting the command module, which was the only mode of transportation back to Earth, and he had to make sure that every system, including the ones that provided life support and propulsion, worked properly. However, his responsibilities included much more than just working with machines. He served as the primary line of communication between Armstrong, Aldrin, and mission control on the ground in Earth's orbit. He organized the taking of images and observations of the moon, which led to the return of important information on its composition. Collins's technical expertise and pinpoint accuracy were essential to the success of a mission, essential maneuver known as the Trans-Earth Injection, TEI. He was the embodiment of the highest level of sportsmanship and fraternity, serving as the literal backbone of the Apollo 11 crew, the most alone figure in all of human history. Collins was in lunar orbit for a total of 21 hours and 48 minutes while he was aboard the command module. During each orbit, Collins was unable to communicate with anyone for 48 minutes. Because of the quiet, he became alienated, isolated, and appeared to be the loneliest man in the history of the world. However, his account of these happenings is not what most people would anticipate hearing about at all. Collins found himself in a state of what he referred to as serene solitude, a strange calmness, Collins' perspective from the outside looking in. Collins' orbit brought him to the moon's far side, which is a mysterious region that presents a variety of unusual prospects for exploration. Collins did not find the absence of radio communication or the total silence on the far side of the moon to be unsettling. Rather, he found that it filled him with periods of peace. He discovered inner calm, heightened awareness, and a sense of fulfillment while drifting in space and observing Earth from a vantage point that the vast majority of humanity have never seen. The image of the Earth rising along the lunar horizon, looking like a frail blue ball against the boundless cosmos, imprinted itself on his mind forever. It resulted in a profound connection as well as an awareness of the fragility of the Earth. Collins' viewpoint of Earth and its place in the universe was fundamentally altered as a result of this overview effect, which is another name for this perspective: someone who fights for the planet. These insights motivated Collins to become a passionate champion for the preservation of Earth's natural resources. He advised people to take better care of our world and to stop engaging in activities that disrupt the natural order of things. He had a fantasy that all of the world's political leaders would be able to see the planet from his vantage point, and he hoped that this would persuade them to make decisions that would preserve our globe rather than destroy it. Collins' existential journey is described in his book A Spiritual Journey. Collins' involvement in the Apollo 11 mission not only forced him to confront existential questions, but also caused paradigm alterations in the way he viewed the world. In his autobiography titled Carrying the Fire, he thought on the significance of the cosmos as a whole, as well as the place that humans occupy within it. His trip into space broadened his spiritual perspective and emphasized the existence of purpose and order across the cosmos. The smell. Apollo 11 astronaut rebels there is an odor coming from the moon. It does not have any air, but it does have a stench. When the Apollo astronauts removed their helmets after landing on the moon, Neil Armstrong said, "We were aware of a new scent in the air of the cabin that clearly came from all the lunar material that had accumulated on and in our clothes. The dust was dark gray, fine, grained, and extremely clingy. Each pair of Apollo astronauts that landed on the moon brought a significant amount of moon dust back into the lunar module." He described it as having the scent of wet ashes. Buzz Aldrin, who served alongside him on the Apollo 11 mission, described it as the smell in the air after a firecracker has gone off. Moon dust, a fine gray substance, harbored an unexpected potential danger during the Apollo missions. Researchers, including astrophysicist Thomas Gold, cautioned that moon dust, having been isolated from oxygen for an extended period, might possess high chemical reactivity. The concern was that if the astronauts brought too much dust into the lunar module's cabin and it came into contact with the air upon repressurization, it could ignite and even trigger an explosion. This risk was taken seriously by the Apollo 11 crew, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, who conducted a test by spreading lunar dirt on the ascent engine and observing its reaction during repressurization. Fortunately, the dust didn't ignite, and subsequent moon missions incorporated precautions to prevent such a scenario. This potential reactivity added an extra layer of complexity to the already intricate endeavor of lunar exploration. The loneliest man's legacy is considered a badge of honor. Michael Collins never let the fact that he spent nearly a day as the only man on Earth feel like a burden to him. This accomplishment was displayed on his chest like a medal of pride. Because of his one-of-a-kind vantage point, he was able to contemplate some of life's most fundamental concerns, problems that have stumped humanity for generations. The journey to the moon is not the only focus of his narrative. It's about the human condition, the responsibilities we have to the world we live on, and the wonder of figuring out where we fit in the universe. Although Michael Collins was not present when the other astronauts walked on the moon, his journey was no less remarkable because of this fact. Not only did he discover new things about space, but also about himself and the people around him. His legacy continues to motivate people by showing us the complex web of relationships that bind all life on Earth together, as well as the boundless opportunities that exist beyond our blue planet. A significant level of introspection can be gleaned from Michael Collins' one-of-a-kind viewpoint on the solitary existence he led. While orbiting the far side of the moon, he was able to find comfort in the peace and quiet of his environment, preventing him from giving in to feelings of alienation. Collins' ability to persevere and adjust to new circumstances is highlighted by the fact that he described the experience as peaceful rather than lonely. Due to the fact that he was cut off from terrestrial connection, he was afforded the unique opportunity to think without interruption. While he was by himself in the abyss, he most certainly gave some thought to issues that were outside the scope of his current assignment. This time spent reflecting gave him the opportunity to form connection with the expanse of space and the place that mankind holds within it. The fact that Collins was able to find peace while living alone exemplifies the human propensity to turn adversity into an opportunity for personal development and the investigation of philosophical ideas. His point of view demonstrates both the incredible mental fortitude that is required of astronauts and the unanticipated benefits that can come from spending time alone in space. Michael Collins' contribution to the Apollo 11 mission will be remembered for a long time, to come in ways that go far beyond his duty as an astronaut. He is the very embodiment of the collaborative attitude that was critical to the accomplishment of the objective. Collins' unrelenting dedication to aiding his fellow crew members on the lunar surface was displayed by the vital responsibilities he was tasked with as the pilot of the command module. And that is all for this video. Subscribe if you want to watch more amazing videos like this.